Welcome to this Infiniscope 10-minute deep dive to develop place-based learning strategies. My name is Melanie Narish, and today we're going to talk about incorporating maps into virtual tours. The goal of this video is to think about maps pedagogically and share examples in virtual tours to help you brainstorm ways you can incorporate maps that fit your needs. I won't model how to make each example since we've only got 10 minutes, but if you want more details, please join the Infiniscope community where we can help direct you to resources or guide you. For now, let's dive in. Now, maps can be thrown into anything, but if artfully added, they are a pedagogical tool for place-based learning. Maps are place-based learning strategies because they orient the viewer to create a more authentic, immersive experience, as well as attach meaning to the place by making connections to different locations, highlighting aspects of place such as topography and population, and showing patterns within a place for better understanding. So let's zoom in on maps. What kind of maps can be used? There really are so many. This is by no means an exhaustive list, but here are some. You have topographic maps. There are global maps, city maps, directional maps, weather maps, event maps. Really, all of this is dealing with the content. So whatever content you're interested in using, you can use. The question is, how do you translate this into a digital tour? So let's think about the format. Looking at the maps from a moment ago, these can be recategorized based off the format. So for instance, image maps. Just screenshot, picture, some sort of still image. Changing maps. Same as image maps, except for these might have another version. So maybe it's a different time, one in 2020 versus 2017. So there's some sort of comparison there. Then you have panoramic maps, which are equirectangular images that fit in a different format of space. Moving maps are almost like changing maps that are put in sequence, so they're put in a video. And then finally, interactive maps, which require an individual to be able to have the full experience. So all these are about the file or how the map works. We're going to begin exploring each category in a virtual tour filled with examples of maps being incorporated. I won't go into everything in the tour though, so I encourage you to explore it for yourself if you'd like more details. Check the video notes for the link and you can explore yourself. Okay, let's take a look at this virtual tour. So each of those map categories we saw earlier, you can see in this map, it's in different sections. If we're looking at the image map, here are some examples of maps that were included just with a still image. So you could literally take a picture, here's one at a park, of a map. You can make downloads or screenshots, and I'm going to pause here. Reminder, whatever you use, make sure you have permission to use it. You have maps from scans. This was from Library of Congress, so this is in the public domain right now. And then you can use maps to look at before and after. So in this tour, there might be some text links that don't actually have maps on them, but it has the logic between the hotspots underneath. So you could look at temperature anomalies from 2000. And let's take a look right here in this area to zoom in. And then let's take a look in 2020. So you can use maps to compare and see there might be some subtle differences. Oh man, you really have to be able to use your observational skills to find the differences in these two maps. It's not going to be very obvious, which is a great challenge for individuals. Now, if you're taking maps and you want to do some more comparisons, that's thinking about changing maps. So time-sensitive maps. For instance, national forecast maps. This link goes directly to the national forecast page. Now, the map that when I clicked on it yesterday looked different. This is up to date to the very moment. So if you link out in your virtual tour to the origin of the file and they update that file space without changing the link, it automatically updates. I didn't have to put today's image in here because it was already there. So you can use your hotspots creatively. Okay, let's see, where are we gonna go next? This image that makes this cool globe, well, that was from a 360 ready image. This image is what we call an equirectangular. It's twice as long as it is tall, and you can see how everything's stretched at the top and stretched at the bottom. This is what allows it to wrap around, almost like you can imagine this wrapping around a balloon, and the stretched areas will condense actually, so it makes not the bottom look like this big long bar, but you can look down and it actually looks like it is supposed to up at the top and the bottom. So sometimes though you go, well, I really want to make a map and it is not equirectangular ready. It doesn't have those stretched out parts. So you can take a map and make a pseudopano. This is in the panoramic space, but I left the top white on the bottom as well, because that would be the area that really warped. If I just put this map in without putting the white in the top and the bottom, this bottom part and this top part would be so warped, it would be unusable. So you can make your own panorama. And in fact, I have some instructions over here on how to make a pseudopano, along with a link to an example template if you would like to try one yourself. Okay, hopping on over to interactive maps. Interactive maps are maps that, they require somebody to do something with it. When you're doing these virtual tours, they're interactive, which is fantastic. So use some interactive maps if you can. So there's a lot of different maps. You can link directly out to them. So I could hop over, for instance, to this fire information for resource management. And I can actually do things in this map. So you can link out from a virtual tour if you would like. You can also make a screen to GIF. So for instance, if you want somebody to do a specific approach in an interactive tour, this is a screen to GIF where I was demonstrating how to use the tool. So it models it. Now I say screen to GIF, that's one resource that I use. I have it linked down here, but it's basically any way that you can make an animated GIF, use that approach. Additionally, with interactive maps, you can make collaborative maps. So here's an example of places that are of interest. And I asked my colleagues, I said, hey, where are some of your favorite places to visit? And we all contributed to this map. When you link out to it, everybody would be able to see this map that has contributions. And then some maps have some really cool resources attached with it that don't necessarily embed in the virtual tour, but if you link out, for instance, like so, you can go to the original website and then have this map that has a really interesting interactive element, this slider. So linking out is always a go-to if something doesn't work in the web page. Let's keep moving on down here and take a look at moving maps. One of the categories was making a map without a video, like without using YouTube, and that's that screen to GIF that you saw earlier. The one approach is using an animated GIF. Then you would not need to have a video link to YouTube or anything like that. So you can make an animated GIF with any sort of tool you would like. It's like the example that we had before, and I have some linked into the examples here. But then you can also use a video. So YouTube has all sorts of really great videos. Here's a 2020 hurricane season from NASA. So you can use maps from YouTube as one of the hotspots as well. There's also Vimeo maps. And there's so many more resources and examples that we're continuously adding to this demonstration tour. Please feel free to take a look. There's a list of NASA resources, general map resources, specialized maps. So if you're looking for a specific topic, these are all suggestions from the Infiniscope community. So you can see there's a lot of different ideas in here, but once again, this is only the tip of the iceberg. Hopefully this is going to inspire you to go, hey, I could do this approach, but I'm going to do it with this twist. Come up with some of your own ideas and reach out and let us know what you did. Thank you for listening. This video was inspired by a webinar with the Infiniscope community. Infiniscope was created by ASU's School of Earth and Space Exploration, and it's a virtual place to connect teachers and learners of all ages with cutting-edge space exploration concepts. So if any of these topics interest you, there's so much more. If you go to infiniscope.org, and then you can join the conversation yourself. It's a really fantastic community.